Have you ever found yourself in a dark place in life? And by dark, I mean where everything is going wrong. Your health is failing, finances destroyed, relationships strained. A place where you question your own insanity, where you're not sure if you want to live or die. Well, 2 years ago, I was in such a place. I had just been evicted from my apartment in New Orleans and was forced to move back to McLean, Mississippi. This move was a major adjustment for me. I had not been back to Mississippi for 2 years since my father died, and now I was back in our old, dilapidated family home. At that time, we only had one working window unit for a 1,300 square foot house, and my dad's furniture was still inside. I guess my auntie had never really mustered the strength to throw any of his stuff away, so the house smelled like old people, and you know how that is. The roof was leaking, the roaches had taken over, but with no job and only about $3,000 to my name, this place was my only option. It took me a few days to get the place cleaned up, and it broke my heart to throw my dad's old clothes away. But once it was all said and done, the place looked good. And after this whirlwind of change, moving, cleaning, and scrubbing, I needed a drink. So I headed out to the local convenience store to grab a bottle of whiskey, only to discover that although this was a wet county, you couldn't buy alcohol in Mississippi before 12 noon. And this was only another depressing reminder that I was no longer in New Orleans. So I went back home, sat on the porch. It was hot, and the road to my family home, which had never been paved, was made of red dirt, and this dirt rolled back and forth and twisted and turned with the wind, almost like it had a life of its own. I sat there and waited till 12 noon and headed back to get that bottle of whiskey. When I returned back home, I sat there babysitting that drink for the next few hours, thinking to myself, how in the hell did I end up back here? Back in this place. I swore never to return here. And to be honest with you, I think I was in the belly of a depression. That evening, my Aunt Bobby passed to check on me. Now, she had always been the most faithful, God-fearing woman I'd ever known. She sat with me for a little while and prayed that I would get a revelation, something that would show me God's will and intentions in my life. And then, right before she walked out, Aunt Bobby left me with this CD, a sermon from a pastor I had never heard before. His name was T.D. Jakes. Now, you got to understand something. I'm not a church-going type of person, but I was at my wit's end. So I popped the CD in, and I sat there with the front door open and listened to that CD on repeat over and over again.
Who betrayed you? He said, when you come to the end of that, you come to the end of it. You come to how do I know I've come to the end? See how it's slowing up? What used to hurt me? What used to bother me? What used to depress me? Doesn't depress me anymore. Can I preach this thing this morning? Can I preach it? He says, this is what Paul wrote Timothy about.
Trying to let these words seep into my soul. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this, where you're listening to something and you know the person is not talking to you, but it seems like the words are meant directly for you. Well, it was almost like this man was talking directly to me. He was talking about how when you come down to your last drop, you will never ever stand up and reach your goals until you stop feeling sorry for yourself. That's the only way you can make things better.
Because as long as you're feeling sorry for yourself, you're giving yourself permission to fail. And as long as
Now, I can't tell you how long I was sitting there, but it went to well after dark. I had broken down in tears and cried, and I don't mean like a small teardrop here or there. I mean ugly, painful tears. And to be honest with you, the release made me feel a lot better. And as I'm sitting there, I started to hear this growling sound. It was low at first, like a little bit of a rumble. And I almost didn't catch it. But then it got loud. So loud that I could hear it over the preacher's words. And the sound was coming from the woods across the roadway. So I grabbed the remote for the CD player and turned the volume down so I could hear a little bit better. And to this day, I still remember thinking to myself, man, somebody done let their dog loose and is growling at me in the dark. This is crazy. But as I turned the sound down, The growling stopped. So I turned it back up again, leaned back in my chair, and continued to listen. The
To
minute I
hear the
turned that
rest of
sound
this
back up, the
story and
growling
more
quit
just
again.
like it,
And now I'm
go
feeling
to
better. The alarm was over, and I
iamdarkWaters.com and
realized I
become
was
a
back on the
premium
path in the
member.
driveway.
Again, that
Instead
is
of having to keep knocking on my
iamdarkWaters.com.
brakes. So I decided to hit the unlock button on my keychain. That way the headlights could light up the woods across the road from me. And dude, when those headlights lit up,